Good morning. Today is Sunday, October 2nd, 2022. Bowing down on our knees is an action we find throughout the Torah with different meanings. We see that Eliezer, the servant of Abraham, bows down to express gratitude to God for his success in finding Rebecca, the future wife of Yitzchak. Our forefather Jacob, bows down to his brother Esau when they meet after many years of separation, and by this action of bowing down, Yaakov expresses his subservience and his non-threatening attitude to his older and more powerful brother. And there are many other examples. Bowing plays a noticeable role in our history and in our service to God. I think many modern Jews feel an innate discomfort with bowing down on our knees. For us, first of all, the action is associated with the practices of other religions that we don't copy. Also, I think for some of us it is too visceral, it's too primitive. We are, many of us, more restrained, more sophisticated, and we are, many of us, too self-conscious to publicly bow down on the ground. There remain today only 2 prayers during the year for which it is appropriate to bow down on our knees. When we say the prayer Aleinu on Rosh Hashana and Yom Kippur, and when we say the Avodah on Yom Kippur afternoon and retell the order of the sacrifices offered by the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, when the Beit HaMikdash was standing. At ADATH, some people do this. I don't know how many, because I personally do it, and it is an overwhelmingly spiritual moment for me, so I'm not aware of what anyone else is doing at that moment. But I'd like to make a suggestion. If this is something that you have not done, try it this year. You don't need to feel any more self-conscious than if you're working out at the gym or doing yoga. And lots of people do that. The 2 places that we bow down on Yom Kippur, though outwardly similar, we are bowing down to the ground, those 2 places are actually very different in emotional and spiritual content. When we say Aleinu, we bow our knees and bend our head until our forehead touches the ground. And we do this when we say the words, Va'anachnu korim, and we bow down to you, God. We kneel and bow in submission before the King of Kings. May his holy name be blessed. The King of Kings who created heaven and earth. And it is a privilege to submit to God. When I bow down saying these words, I feel that energy of God much more powerfully, much more deeply than by just saying the words. I feel in my bones that God above is in charge. God is the Melech, the sovereign. And my strength and power and nothing and knowledge is nothing in the face of his. And I feel joy in having the opportunity to, with my entire body, express my subservience to God. For me, there is no moment I relate to God as king as strongly as when my knees bend and my head touches the ground. The Avodah section on Yom Kippur is emotionally a very different prayer. Sadly, while from the point of view of Jewish law and teaching, it is the highlight of this special day of Yom Kippur, It occurs in the afternoon as the crowd, at least here, and our strength wanes. So it does not receive the attention it deserves. But if we can be present both in body and in spirit, we can transport ourselves to another world. We retell in prayer form the narrative of the Kohen Gadol performing the rituals of Yom Kippur in the courtyard of the temple with everyone watching. And as the Chazan says these prayers, we, in our mind's eye, can watch as well. The goal for us is to visualize what is happening as if we are standing there. And we see the Kohen Gadol in our mind's eye, hurrying from one ceremony to the next, disappearing as he enters the Holy of Holies, reappearing as he exits safely. And we watch as he offers confession for himself and his family and the entire Jewish people for the sins we have done throughout the year, with the absolute promise of God's forgiveness if it is done correctly, with sincerity, and with commitment to improve our behavior. And we strain to hear the holy name of God uttered only at this special moment, but not uttered clearly, since it is too holy for us to bear. That is the moment, in the face of God's overwhelming presence, we bow down and lie flat on the ground and recite, together with those in the temple 2,000 years ago, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuso Le'olam Va'ed. Blessed is God's holy name forever. This is the deepest essence of Yom Kippur, the day on which atonement leads to intimacy with God. And if it is real for us, it must be overwhelming. Who can remain standing in the face of this closeness? Who can remain the same person, unchanged, unimproved, after experiencing this with one's entire body? We say prayers with our lips, but that is only the first step of prayer to be meaningful. To achieve what prayer is intended to achieve, we must also pray with our mind, with our heart, our tears, our history, our future, and our entire body. If you have never done this, I invite you to try it along with me this year. And I would appreciate hearing from you, if you try it, how it feels. I predict it will be a spiritual moment you will never forget. My friends, I want to wish you a great day, and I look forward to seeing you soon in person.